Jamie Humphries here for Six String Alliance, and today I am sitting on the final day, a rather sweaty final day of the Guitar Summit here in Mannheim, and I'm joined by Mr. Jared James Nichols.
Thanks for having me, man. Glad to be here.
Thank you very much for coming.
We're here. We're still alive.
Yeah, just about. We've had some very late nights.
Yeah, late nights, early mornings.
Yeah.
We have to do these. I did these 2 gigs, right? And the sound check's at 9 a.m.
Are you kidding?
No. So everyone, and I cannot believe everyone showed up. But at one point they were like, "Where's Phil X?" I was like, "It's 9 a.m. He's probably sleeping." And then I said to Phil, "Hey, where were you this morning?" He goes, "I was sleeping."
Yeah, that's early. That's early. Yeah. So you've come over to the show and you are promoting your new Blackstar amp. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the amp?
Absolutely.
And what's going on with it?
So this is the second amp that I've done with Blackstar. I'm super excited about it. The first one was launched in 2019. It was a 20 watt. So it was the JJN 20, right? And that was based on an amp that I was playing for a long time, an HT amp in the Blackstar line. And I still love that amp. I still play it all the time when I'm at home. Even for small gigs, it's really convenient because it's super small.
Yeah.
And you can just carry like the cabinet in one hand, the head in the other. And that came with a 212. And what we ended up doing was I used that for the past 4 years.
Yes.
You know, toured it everywhere. I'd put it in luggage. I would take it anywhere. And as the venue started to get bigger, what I noticed is 20 watts is great, but there's a certain threshold with like the headroom, and you just can't get a certain oomph out of those small amps in a big space. So I called the Blackstar guys and I said, "Hey man, I need more power. Give me more power." And they were like, "Okay, cool." So originally I started to take the JJN 20 and I would run it with an Artisan. And I was like, "That's great." But now the Artisan, it's like the biggest engine. And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the Artisan's a really, really powerful amp.
Very powerful. So it was awesome, but then I was still thinking in my head, there's got to be something more. And then I found the St. James stuff. Yeah. And I was like, wow, this is really cool, because not only is it really easy to carry, it's super lightweight. It just sounds great. But when we started talking about it, they were like, what if we did a St. James variation, 50 watt? And I was like, yeah, man. So the cool part about it is it retains the same DNA as the St. James series, but a few of the key tonal elements, right, are it still has the 2 channels. The first channel, super simple, just like a very kind of pure, clean, stacks great. Yeah. And then the second side on this channel 2, it has this like blues power select. So I said to these guys, I want to be able to just plug in my guitar in a venue. And if need be, like last night when I jammed with Greg Koch or Matteo Mancuso, I just want to play the guitar through the amp. Yeah. You know, I don't need pedals. I don't need anything in front of it. And I remember they were basically, I told them to open it up, make it sound wider. And essentially what we did was we just took all that compression that it feels great when you're playing, but I love to turn when this amp's cranked, man, it gets rid of that compression and it just feels wide and open. And it's great. It comes with a 212 cab. Right now, though, we have these bad boys, these 412s. These are the ones that I toured with. Yeah. So I had these on tour, and it was fun, man. The full stack.
Yeah. So you've also, it seems like got cab rig as well.
Yes.
So you've got a direct output, so you can use it without a cabinet. And can you record with the USB as well, I think?
Yeah, man.
So
and what's great about that, too, is I've actually had it before where I've just played straight through the head.
Yeah.
And I was really skeptical. I'm not going to lie. I was like, man, this is not going to sound right. It's incredible, the cab rig stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And along with the amp, we came out with a plugin.
Yes, yes.
And what's so cool about that is, like, yet again, I was very skeptical. Not about Blackstar or whatever, but with plugins, you know, I've used them a lot in the past, but I thought to myself, I don't know, man. And then I went there and I played it, and then I played my amp, and I played it, and I played my amp, and I went, this is great. And I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of the sound and the feel, and it's simple. Anyone could plug it.
It looks awesome as well. I love the colour. It's like
British Racing Green. Yeah, totally.
Something else about Cabrig is that obviously Cabrig's featured on a lot of Blackstar products, a lot of different amps, the amp series and the amp pedals, I mean. And your Cabrig's a little bit different because it's got a selection of specific cab rig models to you.
Yeah, so that's really cool. We were able to do that. Is we got so nitty gritty with that. We were able to actually model my cabinets.
Yes.
You know, using the GT 175 speakers. We have Celestion versions. But what was cool too, not only alongside the cab rig, even with the plugin, all of the gear, all of the tones came straight from my gear. So like they took my pedal board, and at the time I had like it was like the Tube Screamer and a Klon, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, do you mind if we sweep these? And I was like, do what? You know, what are you going to do? And they took all of everything I have and made that happen. And I remember when they showed me the cab rig, I was skeptical, and I heard it. It sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I noticed that as well when Steve was showing me the plugin on the booth the other day. It's got all your pedals.
Yeah, and
that's super cool.
It was cool too. And what's great about the Blackstar guys is when I say something to them, like as far as like tonally wise, where I go like, man, that's good, but like for instance, I have this Octavia pedal, right? And it's a really weird old pedal. It doesn't really sound. It sounds like trashy, but there's something about it that's amazing. And I said to them when they showed me the in the plugin, when I listened to it, like, man, it's missing this like mid frequency. There's something about it. Yeah. And Danny over at Blackstar, he was like, okay, let me work on this. And the next time I came back, nailed it. So what's cool is they care about the tone, man.
That's good, man.
And that's what it's all about.
That's really good. So I saw you play live with it the other night, and it was the best sound on the stage. It was just really, it's really dynamic and really sounded, you know, your playing style is very, playing fingers. It's really sort of sensitive and dynamic to touch, isn't it? Yeah. And you could, even in that sort of big space with all those other guitar players on stage, which were all fantastic. Yeah. You could really hear the nuances of your playing. So I thought that was really cool.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. And I think a lot of that goes too with the simplicity, right? And, I'm a firm believer that it doesn't take a lot to get a lot, right? With tone and things like that. I think if you have a guitar that you love, and like, for instance, with this amp, it's like just having it as basically a canvas, man. It's like, it has enough gain. It's not gonna, there's no smoke and mirrors. It's like you plug in and it just is what it is. Like the other night, for instance, you know, Mateo was playing, and he brought his computer with he had a Line 6 board. And I remember he's setting up and his computer's not firing up. And I said, what's man, let's just plug you in. And he goes, no, this is my sound. Yeah. So everyone's very particular about their sound. And for me, I just think that guitar is so much fun still. And I think of it more as like it's like, but it's just like music's a coloring book, man. And I just like simple tools to get it done.
Yeah. That's the thing with a lot of guitar players today. You know, it is computer based, or it is, you know, an all-in-one unit kind of thing, and you know, you come from that school of player where you plug into an amplifier and you like to feel your trousers move.
I love it.
You know, and it's a different thing. I think it makes you play differently. You know, I do so much work in the studio and everything is direct. I use amps, but it's direct, and you kind of plug in. You're like, oh, holy shit. This is weird. This is different. I haven't played it with a cab for a while.
I'll never forget, man, the first time that I plugged into a loud tube amp with like a really good Les Paul, and like what that felt like. And also I went, oh man, with this kind of sound, it's like I have to control everything. Yeah. And I realized that your volume and your tone means so much in the scenario. And it's a total old school approach. And I gotta say, I don't do it because it's old school and that's the only way I think works. I think whatever works for whatever player is great. But for me, there's something about a loud amp, a good Les Paul, and your fingers, man. Yeah. And you can just make it happen.
So let's talk about your guitar as well. That's your signature Epiphone.
Yes.
And again, just that simplistic approach, just a single P90.
Yeah, so this was kind of stolen from like I was listening to like a ton of Mountain. So like when I first started my trio, it came about, I always loved Les Pauls, of course, and all this stuff, but playing with the fingers and you have a Les Paul and like the neck pickup or even humbuckers, I felt like it sounded really muddy when I played it. You know, I wasn't really getting a lot of clarity or attack. And truth be told, when I first started playing, I was obsessed with Strats, man. I loved Stevie Ray, and you know, I wanted to be like Stevie Ray. Like I had the hat and everything. Yeah. Didn't work out.
No.
Maybe for the best. But I love the sound of a Strat, and I thought to myself, man, it would be so cool. And at the time, if there was a way that, because I love the feel of a Les Paul, if there was a way to do that, and then someone goes, try P90s, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, and they're like, be careful, they buzz. Yeah. And I was like, okay. So I try them and I'm like, it's pretty cool. Yeah. And then when I was getting a trio together, I realized that it's really cool. And that this simple pickup, you can get so many different tones out of it. And, I just love it. It's that in between of a really great wide open humbucker in the chime of a single coil. Yeah. And when we were doing guitars, my first guitar was a modded Gibson, and I put a P90 in the bridge with a wrap tail, and the guitar looked like it came out of a garbage can, but it had enough going on for it that I started to work with Gibson and Epiphone, and this is the third variation. Yeah. So super simple, man. It's I did a pickup. This is a Duncan. What's cool about this is it's a pickup I did with Seymour Duncan that is like noiseless. So you go like this. Yeah. You know, and then, rat tail bridge, Duncan pickup, volume tone. This one's all Pelham Blue, which I thought was really cool. This one has Grover locking tuners. I never used locking tuners, but, they said, hey man, you should try these. We're trying to put them on our guitars. Yeah. And I was like, man, I don't know about these locking tuners, but I played them once and I was like, they work, man. Yeah. So, and that's it. And this guitar is actually super, super new. It just came out of a box 2 days ago. Yeah. And, it's still got the strings that were on it from the factory. Nice, man. Yeah. So let's have a listen to a little bit of playing. Okay. Let's do it. Give me a kind of, do you want to give us like a couple of tones? Yeah, man. Let's have a listen to the amp. So first things first is this clean channel, right? And this amp has reverb. There's also this power switch, so you can go 50 to basically 2 watts, right? Yeah. So if I bring this up. So using this reverb, I'll take that reverb down so you can just hear the amp. It'll get a little. So that's just straight amp. And what I love about this front channel, first off, is the simplicity and the chime of it. It's very honest. So when you play, if you make a mistake, you're going to hear it, right? But the percussive. Adding a little bit of reverb in that. You know, just very simple. And what's cool about it too is Blackstar was cool enough to borrow me some pedals for the demo. Yeah. But it's a great channel to just stack if you just want that clean bass. And and obviously our volume's out like. Oh yeah. But volume. As you know, you turn it up, it starts to open up a little bit more. Yeah. And you know, you can throw a boost on it and just gives you a little bit more on the top. Let me turn that up. So I just love that. And really cool, really versatile. And then we move to the second channel, and that's where things kind of start to get a little more interesting. It just starts to open it up just a little more. Watch that. Adding a little bit of boost. Nice. Just nice and clean still. Yeah. So hang on, I've just noticed then that there's like a little. Oh, that's the sauce. That's where the sauce comes in. So okay, so then that's just adding. You've got the gain control. Yep. And then flip the switch down, and it's like the little blues bar. This is what I said. I was like, man, I just want an amp I can just plug into. I can clean it up with my volume. A bit of a secret button there. I didn't realize it was doing that. Just gives you a little push. Yeah. And what's funny is I remember they were saying, we made the light blue. Yeah. For blues power. And it took a while. So check it out.
nice, man.
Yeah, super simple, man.
Really, really cool.
And like I said, I have a really simple setup. Right now, I just have a tube screamer that I bought when I was 15 for $40.
Yeah.
I got a super distortion and a tuner. That's it. And I just run that through here, and it makes all the sounds I need.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, should we close off? Should we try and have a slightly more successful jam? No,
Let's try and do this. Yes, I turned up a little bit. Yeah. You smoke, dude. And I'm not talking about these. I'm talking about that.
This is a beautiful guitar. I should mention this guitar. This is a Shabbat guitar. Am I saying? I should point out to the camera as well. There's absolutely no pressure in the room right now because I'm sitting here playing not only with this dude, but Chris Buck is sitting there next to me.
Hey, we have Father Chris Buck looking at our every move.
Yeah, he's sitting over there. Just, I can hear him tutting. And he's like, oh,
he's actually got a little marker. He's every mistake. He's like
51 watt tut.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this is a fantastic guitar. This is in fact the Dweezil Zappa guitar, and I was asked to check this out. A friend of mine said I'd check it out. So a lovely gentleman over there who built this guitar is sitting there. So bit of a shout out to that. Huge shout out to you, dude. Thanks, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks for setting this up.
Also, shout out to the lovely Blackstar team. That is James sitting over there, who's lugged cables, pedals, amps, you name it, to make this video. So, yeah, thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for a full demo of the amp. I'm going to get one in the studio back in Stockholm and take a look at it. So, cool stuff. Thanks, dudes.
Thanks, man.
Cheers.